following the organizing functions. Now, I am explaining about how to proceed with idea generation using a house as the example of VE target. In idea generation, we generate ideas by using the function system diagram. What you should do first is selecting a function and ask the question to yourself, is there any other way to realize the function? This question encourages you to produce ideas not by focusing on the things itself, but by focusing on the function, making your mind more creative. As an example, we are focusing on the function support people to live. Then, we are thinking ideas from the point of view, is there any other way to realize the function? In this regard, for example, I came up with ideas such as staying in a hotel, mastering outdoor life, and keep traveling. You may note that we have gained another viewpoint to realize the function support people to live without living in a house. Next, we are focusing on the function stop wind. In order to realize this function, roof and wall, which are the components of the house, are currently used. By focusing only on the function, we may start seeking innovative ideas to achieve the function stop wind without using roof and wall. I came up with the ideas such as wearing a windbreaker, living in a cave, and creating a large space where wind is not generated and living there. You may notice that the function stop wind seems to be feasible without wall and roof. As another example, we are focusing on the function hold base. In general, houses are built on the ground, so the function is realized by the existence of ground. Here again, we are thinking from the viewpoint, is there any other way to realize the function? The idea may be then expanded to houses that are not on the ground. For example, in the future, we may have a house that flies in the sky or a house that floats on the sea. I also came up with the idea of making effective use of underground spaces. Finally, we are now arguing about the relationship between the generated ideas and the hierarchy level of the functions used for idea generation in the function system diagram. The first function we focused, support people to live, is at the top hierarchy in the function system diagram. This function is the very role of the VE target, a house. Asking the question, is there any other way to realize the function, is equivalent to raising a question about a house as a means to realize the function, support people to live. The ideas that come from this question are quite radical against the VE target of a house. In fact, you may notice that the ideas generated from this function are ways to live comfortably without living in a house. On the other hand, you may notice that the ideas from lower hierarchy in the function system diagram are more influenced by the image of a house. For example, the ideas generated from the function stop wind are more realistic than those from support people to live. If it is cold inside the house, you may wear a windbreaker. You may exploit objects, such as a cave and others, that protects you from wind and rain. The ideas generated from the function hold base from further lower hierarchy in the function system diagram may be more realistic. It is true that no house flies like an airplane now, but skyscrapers may be part of the way of thinking. People do build houses on the river or sea. In addition, basements already exist. Through these examples, I want you to notice that ideas are more realistic as you move from the higher to the lower in the function system diagram used for idea generation. More detailed and specific functions should reinforce this trend.